And for more on how all of these candidates can set themselves apart from the pack, we turn to our panel. Former DNC chair and Fox News contributor Jimmy Green and Democratic strategist Isaac Wright joins us as well. I've been looking forward to this all day because the list just grows and grows and grows. We need map. We're going to need flashcards, you know. For me, I love this kind of stuff, so I think it's really fun. But let's start with Joe Biden just to kick things off because he's gotten the boost, not an unsuspected boost, from coming into the field. Jimmy, do you think it will hold?
We certainly have a lot of time in this race, and we're at 21, so I guess this is where I'm supposed to insert the joke about how many candidates there are. So, Molly, you get a candidate, and Isaac, you get a candidate, you get a candidate. We all get candidates in my Oprah voice. But here's the thing. Biden, of course, was going to come out on top. He was on top before he announced. But we've got moderates. We've got leading liberal voices. We've got the most trusted Democrats in the party. We've got the best the Democratic Party it has to offer. And the thing that's on our side is that the Republicans really aren't putting up the best that they have to offer. These candidates are putting detailed, thoughtful, and I think probably most important, bold plans forward. And there's a lot of time. I think Biden's going to get a run for his money from Senator Kamala Harris, for example, who did amazing in some of the town halls that we've been seeing recently. So this is going to be a competition.
Jammu, you've brought up, just kind of the breadth of the field, but also specifics. And a lot of these candidates are actually getting criticized for not coming out with specifics, for being vague on policy, and to sort of being answering questions like, I think that's an important issue. I want to have a conversation about that. Isaac, how long can the candidates do that?
Well, I think we have a lot of detailed plans that are coming out. I think the candidates right now, though, are focused primarily on vision, right? What is their vision for America, and what's the distinction they would make between this president and their own presidency? And I think that's crucial for the American people to hear and for the electorate to hear. I think the breadth of folks we have bringing positive visions for our country to the table, it's good for the Democratic Party. It's good for the country. Jammu mentioned 21 candidates. I think that we're going to be up to 22 shortly. I saw in the Montana news recently, it was unconfirmed, but that there was a date set for Governor Bullock's announcement. So we're going to be at 22 candidates before the month's over. At a minimum, we'll keep seeing how that number grows. But the more folks we have getting in, the more energizes the party, the more energizes the people of this country as we look at a positive vision for our future.
Mayor Pete Buttigieg has been at the center of a lot of discussion. Everyone's looking at him. Is he the alternative to some of the other candidates that have been leading in the field? He's growing in the polls. He's been getting a lot of cash as well. But then there's also candidates like Elizabeth Warren, who are a well-known name, someone who's really dived down deep into policy issues, that has really laid out a lot of plans. She's kind of really staked her entire identity on some of her economic theories. Why are the women in the field not getting as much attention, for instance, as Mayor Pete and Biden and that sort of thing, Jammu?
I'm glad you brought that up. And actually, in the intro, you said former DNC chair. I was actually a candidate for DNC chair, and I ran against Mayor Pete. And I think what we are seeing with Mayor Pete and the type of coverage he's gotten in the media, it's the same repeat of 2016, and we're going to have to be very careful as Democrats. I say all the time, Democrats should not look at the media as their friends. And we're seeing women candidates not get the same type of coverage. We're seeing the media kind of calling the shots very early on as far as who their favorites are, not covering the plans of someone like Elizabeth Warren as much as kind of the personality of a Mayor Pete.
Yeah, personality always plays a big role.
We need to be smart about how we as Democrats use the media to our advantage, because they're not necessarily on our side in helping us find the candidate who's going to help us bring back decency to the White House.
Isaac, do you think she raises a good point there, that there's a media bias against female candidates, and the Democrats do have this growing field with a lot of female candidates?
We have a growing field with a lot of diversity in our candidates. I also want to sell Senator Warren short for how strong she's doing. The New Hampshire poll that came out this week, I mean, first place was undecided with 27 points. Second place was Biden. The third place, really the second amongst candidates to Biden, was a tie between Sanders and Buttigieg. But the next place, number 3 amongst the candidates, was Senator Warren, following up closely. So I think she has shown a lot of strength with the fact she's put out those policy specifics and proposals out there. I think Mayor Pete
given
has
her
been somewhat
proximity
of
to
a
New Hampshire, she
phenom.
really should be crushing in the Granite State. I mean,
well, that
she-
is where
she
she's
should
doing
be on-
strongest, I think, right now in the polls I've seen.
all right.
She should also be on the cover of Time magazine, like Mayor Pete is. You know, Kamala Harris should be getting this type of coverage. They should be going on the Ellen Show. There are just some things that, you know, I do hope that policy can trump personality.
We shall see. That's always a tough one. I feel like that's that's always a
normalcy.
discussion we make about all these candidates, all these races. Jammu Green,
I agree.
Isaac Wright, thank you so much to both of you for joining us today. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.